This is Dubai, a glittering city of glass and steel, rising straight out of one of the largest deserts on Earth, surrounded by sand for hundreds of miles in every direction. And yet, to build itself, Dubai had to import sand, not from next door but from the other side of the world. It sounds absurd. Sand loaded onto ships and carried across whole oceans to a country already drowning in it. But that single strange fact hides a secret about the modern world, one that almost no one has noticed. We are quietly running out of the one material we use to build almost everything. And by the time most people realize it, the cheapest resource on Earth may become one of the most fought over. This is the strange, hidden war over sand. No headlines, no front lines, and a prize hiding in plain sight, right beneath our feet. To understand the war, you first have to understand just how much of our world is quietly made of this one thing. After air and water, sand is the most used natural resource on the planet. We consume around 50 billion tons of it every single year. It is the invisible ingredient of civilization. Every concrete building you have ever seen is mostly sand and gravel, bound together into artificial stone. Every window you look through, every glass screen in your pocket, all of it is nothing more than ordinary sand, melted and reshaped. The roads you drive on, the bridges you cross, even the silicon chips inside your phone, they all begin their life as humble grains of sand. A single average house swallows hundreds of tons of it. 1 kilometer of highway can take around 30,000 tons. Sand feels so ordinary, so endless, that we treat it as infinite. And that quiet assumption is exactly where the trouble begins. Because here is what almost no one realizes. Not all sand is the same. And most of the sand on Earth is completely, uselessly wrong for the job. The sand beneath the world's great deserts, the Sahara, the vast Arabian sands, cannot be used to build almost anything at all. Blown by the wind for millions of years, desert grains are ground too smooth and too round. They slip past one another like tiny marbles and refuse to hold together. Concrete needs the exact opposite. Angular, jagged grains that grip and lock into place, the kind shaped slowly by moving water in rivers, lakes, and along coastlines. That is why a city buried in desert sand still ships it in from Australia. The sand we actually need is far rarer and far more precious than it looks. And the world's hunger for that usable sand is not just rising, it is exploding. Every year, humanity builds the equivalent of entire new cities for millions of people, and each one is desperate for concrete. China alone poured more concrete in just 3 years than the United States used across the entire 20th century, all of it starving for river sand. And rivers simply cannot refill fast enough to keep pace with our appetite. So the world began to dig faster than nature could ever hope to replace, tearing sand from rivers and coasts around the globe. In China, fleets of dredgers turned one of the country's largest freshwater lakes into what may be the biggest sand mine on Earth. And along the Mekong, so much sand has been ripped from the riverbed that the Great Delta itself is slowly sinking beneath the sea. And when something once worthless suddenly becomes valuable, people start to fight over it. Quietly, the war over sand turned violent. In parts of India and beyond, illegal sand mining is controlled by so-called sand mafias. Criminal networks worth billions, operating in the dark, beyond the reach of the law. Journalists, activists, and police officers who dared to stand in their way have been threatened. Some of them have been killed. Entire beaches have simply vanished, carried off truckload by truckload, grain by grain in the darkness. And the damage never stops at the shoreline. Stripping sand collapses riverbanks, lets saltwater poison farmland and destroys the habitats that entire fishing communities depend on. And in Indonesia, sand miners have made whole islands disappear from the map completely. That sand did not simply disappear into nothing. Much of it went to build one of the richest nations on Earth, Singapore. Singapore has expanded its own territory by nearly a quarter, using vast amounts of sand bought from its neighbors, until those neighbors, watching their own coastlines quietly erode away, began banning the exports in alarm. One by one, countries woke up. Indonesia, Malaysia, Cambodia, Vietnam. Each one moved to restrict or ban the export of their sand. A resource once shoveled up and given away for free had become something worth guarding like treasure. And the shortage is only beginning. By some estimates, our demand for sand could outstrip the supply the world can safely provide within just a few decades. So why should you care about something as humble as sand? Because the cost of nearly everything built around you is quietly tied to it. The price of your home, the city you live in, the roads, the glass, the screens, all of them rest on a foundation we assumed would never run low. And because it is a warning, if we can run out of something as common as sand, then we can run short of almost anything we casually call infinite. We spent centuries fighting over gold, over oil, over land itself. Now, quietly, we have begun to fight over the very ground beneath us. Scientists now warn that we are pulling this resource from the Earth far faster than the planet can ever renew it. The age of treating sand as free and endless is coming to a close. The next time you walk past a construction site or hold your phone in your hand, remember, it all began as sand, and the world is quietly running out of the right kind. If this changed how you see the ground beneath your feet, there is a whole hidden world of these fights, over water, over metal, over the systems the modern world quietly runs on. Subscribe, and you'll never look at ordinary things the same way again.